He is angry and she is not having it. Watch how she rolls her eyes. She just realizing this guy is a complete fraud and a monster. Look at her.
Instead of
I'll
going
provide
back.
the answer. No. I'm providing an answer in order to provide context. Republicans have repeatedly.
Did you guys see that? She is completely, look at her face. Look, she is a whole eye roll. She is annoyed by Democrats, especially the top Democrat minority leader, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is getting cooked. But why? What has happened? Let's go back to the very beginning here, because this is a real story. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen. This moment when Hakeem Jeffries loses it on CNBC as the host is actually pressing him into answering a question. He just embarrassed himself big time. So let's actually go to what is actually happening when it comes to, of course, Obamacare. Does Obamacare work? Like, let's be honest here. Does it work? What are the Democrats actually trying to do? After losing the Democrat shutdown, they are looking to shut the government down again because there is no deal made. And we could be looking at a first quarter shutdown because of this guy and the Democrats not trying to create a bipartisan way forward with Obamacare. Take a look at this.
To get done, you are going to need at least some Republicans to come over. Why not start with a 1-year extension or potentially even a 2-year extension?
Well, Leader Schumer offered a 1-year extension in the context of trying to end the Trump Republican shutdown.
Yeah, but that's different. What I'm talking about what you have now. Let's not go back to what's done in the past and what has not been extended. If you want to get something that has actually done, you need to do something that will have bipartisan.
You can ask.
Yeah, like he's getting mad. He's getting pissed off. But let me give you guys some context because he's getting pissed off. Well, the context here is that he is trying to hang on to the government shutdown that just passed. What she is saying as a Democrat, she is giving him advice. Please find a bipartisan way forward where we can actually extend this for about a year. They don't want to extend it over a year because they want to shut down the government again. So she is pressing him on actually trying to talk to Republicans and go back and forth to come up with a solution to avoid another government shutdown when it comes to the issue of Obamacare. Even though a lot of Democrats have said and come out that it just doesn't work, and it hasn't worked. But let's keep going. Let's actually see where he loses his mind right here.
A 1-year extension in the context of trying to end the Trump Republican shutdown.
Yeah, but that's different. What I'm talking about what you have now. Let's not go back to what's done in the past and what has not been extended. If you want to get something that has actually done, you need to do something that will have bipartisan.
You can ask me the question. You can ask me the question. I'll provide the answer.
Answer the question instead of going back.
I'll provide the answer. No. I'm providing an answer in order to provide context. Republicans have repeatedly refused to take yes for an answer. It was a very reasonable multi-year extension that was offered. It was a 1-year straight extension plus a multi-year process through a bipartisan commission to more permanently resolve the Affordable Care Act issue. So having that context is absolutely important, regardless of what you may think.
It's important context to make me realize that I don't think you want to get a deal done. I think this is something.
Oh my God, she is confirming, like she's calling him a liar. You actually don't want to get a deal done. That's what it's confirming, because he is getting pissed off, right? He is saying, I answered the question, even though I'm not saying what you want. But what she is saying is, you don't really want to come up with a solution. All you want is chaos. That's pretty much what she is telling him, that there is no solution for the near future, because he isn't trying to cross the aisle. What he's trying to do is frame this as a Republican problem, Republican this, Republican that. But he, as a leader of the House Minority Leader, right, it's just not doing enough. And what he is doing is pointing the finger, and she knows this. She knows. But this is the monster that the Democrats have created.
Done. I think this is something where you'd like to see the rates go higher and allow the Republicans to hang themselves with that. Is that the answer? That's absolutely politics?
That's absolutely a ridiculous assertion. And really, shame
3
on
years
you
is not going to get passed. So what do you do?
Shame on you for saying that, because we're fighting. It's not a partisan issue for us. In fact, the states that are most impacted as it relates to an Affordable Care Act tax credit expiration are all Republican states. We're talking about West Virginia, Wyoming, Alaska, Mississippi, right? Tennessee, over and over and over again. We can go through the list.
Have some Republicans who would sign on if you guys could come up with something that actually looks like a bipartisan deal.
Listen, this is not a partisan fight for us. It's a patriotic fight. We're fighting for every constituent, even if Republicans aren't necessarily fighting for their own constituent. We want to find a bipartisan path forward. And that is what we've repeatedly indicated we want to do. Like, we want to sit down and have a reasonable discussion, find common ground to address this issue. Now, Republicans said in the House they were willing to deal with the Affordable Care Act tax credit issue after the government funding agreement was reached. Well, now the government shutdown is over, and there's still been no conversations with House Republican leaders.
Mike Johnson never said that. The leader never said that. You do have Republicans, though, who would agree with you on something if it was actually bipartisan in nature. That's what I'm trying to.
Wow. So here you have a Democrat, CNBC host, saying that you can get this done for the American people if you actually come up with something bipartisan that works out for Republicans and Democrats. Man, kudos to CNBC. You know, kudos to this host. I really don't know her name. Somebody comment her name down below. I've seen her one time before, because I usually wake up early in the morning to check out CNBC, to check out the stocks, check out what the market is doing, check out what crypto is doing, just check out everything that's going on. And the fact that he is getting challenged here in this way is actually amazing, because what happens, first of all, he's done. He ain't coming back. After they got cut off, like the way this show ended, he's done. Like he got kicked off CNBC. Like he's done. He's not coming back. And if he does come back, it won't be with her. I promise you that, because she's flat out calling him a liar. What she is doing is she's pointing out the fact that Democrats like to stretch things out to make them look a certain way. They did it with the government shutdown. Remember, the government shutdown was pitched to the American people as a shutdown from Republicans and Trump. But when Democrats or some people in the middle or even right wingers began to do research, they began to quickly find out, hey, this is actually coming from the Democrats. They're the ones that don't want to cooperate. They're the ones that want to keep the government still shut down because they wanted the leverage. And that's why John Fetterman and many different people came out from the Democratic side and said, these people are lying to you. But there's a little bit more. I want to show you a little bit more before this ended abruptly of what it is that she is trying to get at and what it is that he is trying to, again, paint to the American people. Take a listen.
Get at.
Actually, Mike Johnson actually did say that there was always a plan to specifically deal with the expiration of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. In fact, he said that repeatedly. So I'm not sure what you're referencing. I think
their plan is something that looks more like an HCA, which I'm guessing you would say is dead on arrival too. If you wanted to set up these healthcare plans that are funded instead of going through the ACA, I'm assuming you would say that's dead on arrival too, because there have been Republicans who've put that forward. Am I wrong in thinking you would not go along with that?
What I'm saying is that what's in front of us is the immediate expiration of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Republicans have had all year to deal with this issue, and they've refused to do it. So they're the ones who are not interested in finding a resolution to a healthcare crisis that they've created, including passing a bill that enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. And because of their policies, hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers are closing throughout America, including in rural parts of the country.
Which why it would be nice to see a one-year extension so that none of these things happen immediately and give you all time to actually try and work on bipartisan situations, rather than a 3-year extension that basically kicks it down until the next administration is here.
Yeah, just like that. It's over. It's over. Just like that. She's done. They're done. And by the way, she flipped it again on him. He says all of these things, right? That, all these rural areas and everything is closing down, and she flipped it on him again. That's why it would be nice for you to step up to the plate and make something happen. But that's what these people do. They don't want to make something happen. These Democrats don't want to make anything happen. Chuck Schumer wants to make nothing happen. They would love for another government shutdown again. You don't think they want all of that momentum heading into, again, of course, the midterms, which is not looking the best, because I want to say that it's not looking the best for Democrats, but it's looking on the upside for Democrats because they are trying and they are gaining control of the narratives. And if they can get it their way by January and force another government shutdown because of the healthcare subsidies and tax credits that, again, many Democrats have come out and said this is just not working, right? Trump issued an idea of, hey, let's let the American people choose. Let's give them money. Whatever money was going to these big corporations, that's where it's all going. They're fighting for big money, big pharma.
I hope that we're going to be able to have a health care where Lindsay and I were discussing it, Jim and I were discussing it, and Katie, we discussed it. We want a health care system where we pay the money to the people instead of the insurance companies. And I tell you, we're going to be working on that very hard over the next short period of time, where the people get the money. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars where the people get the money. Yes, please.
Right? That's what they're really fighting for, right? That's when you look deep into it, this is what it comes down to. And Trump came up with the idea of, hey, let them choose. Let the American people choose. We'll do a fund for every American on healthcare. Let them choose healthcare. I thought that idea was amazing. I'm not sure if it'll ever pass because the way the government works, I mean, unless you get rid of the filibuster, which is, I think, a free fall. I think Democrats would eventually do that, in my opinion. But neither here nor there. You saw how pissed off this dude was. And again, shout out to this host from CNBC. She stepped up to the plate here to challenge and go back and forth with it. I've never seen this guy this pissed off before, but she flipped it over and over on him because he is the Democratic leader. He is one of the top Democrats. And this is how he's behaving live on air, ladies and gentlemen. So hope you guys enjoyed that show. Make sure to smash the like button. I'll see you guys on the next one.